Hey everyone, I'm just getting set up here. Hope you're ready for some yoga. Give me a comment or a chat or a thumbs up if you're watching. It's always nice to see. All right, just making sure that I'm going to be visible. Gotta move the camera a little further away. We'll get set up here. How's that? You can hear me? Thank you, Carol. Always good to know. Just getting all the setup going. Boy, we've had to learn some fast technology tricks with all of this stuff. Yeah. Let me know the camera angle too. Can you see me? Okay. Head to toe. That's what we want. Nice. Awesome. Thanks, Carol. Let me know where you are. Oh, awesome, Keith. Thanks. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. That's my Chihuahua, so hopefully she's going to behave and do her thing, which she enjoys, just sitting on the couch and sleeping most of the time. San Diego, awesome. I love connecting. I'm in Denver, Colorado, so it's really beautiful here today. It's a spring day. Nice and sunny and warm. Yeah. So I'll just keep playing as we get set up here. Anyone else joining us yet? Well, as you do join, just let me know. Where are you? How are you? I'm really happy to be teaching this morning. It's going to be fun. I'll check back in a minute. I see a few people joining us. It's good to see you. Can't see you, but you can see me. And go ahead and pop a message in the chat if you're watching. I'd love to see where you are. And incidentally, I have a group on Facebook called the Embodied Yoga Method. I'm a yoga therapist as well as a yoga teacher, so I really focus on the yoga for emotional resilience. And resilience is our theme today, so we'll dive. VA, is that Virginia, Robin? How's everyone's practices going with being home with studios closed? Oh yeah, Virginia, awesome. So we've got San Diego, Virginia, Colorado. We're kind of covering the continent. We have some north and south. So yeah, as I was saying, I also am a yoga therapist, so I work on emotional resilience and well-being. And I have a group called the Embodied Yoga Method, which you're all welcome to join. You can find it on Facebook. And I always offer a little bit more there. I have some groups that we work on. We dive into yoga philosophy. I have a Saturday morning coffee chat, which is really fun, just virtual coffee chat. We've covered coast to coast. We've even had people join us from England and Spain and Belgium. It's been really fantastic lately. Yeah, this virtual reality, stepping into it. We're about to get started. Give us a few more minutes. If you're here, say hi, give me a chat. I see about 12 people watching, which is awesome. Tell me how your yoga practice is going. Are you enjoying practicing from home? There's a lot of different feelings from being in the studio, you know. I also teach yoga teacher trainings, and I've had some of my students comment on how different it is to practice at home and to drop in and to feel their breath and their body and all of that. And there is some sort of magical power about being in the same physical space with other people who are breathing and moving with you. It kind of amplifies the energy, helps you to connect a little deeper. But the practice really is to be taken off the mat, to be taken into your daily life, into your home. And so we kind of have this magical opportunity to see how we do when we're not in the studio space, when we're maybe by ourselves, and our connection to breath and body comes through our connection to our own self. Hey there, I see a little wave. Thanks for saying hi. It looks like it's straight up 10 o'clock. I'd still love to see where you all are. Say hi, pop it in the chat, send me an emoji, whatever. I love to make connections, even virtual ones. It's important. So I'll give it just another minute and then I'll head to my mat. Hopefully you'll all be able to see me, and if not, let me know. Hi, Stephen. Where are you in the world? Hey, Chris. It's good to see you. Yeah. It's nice to see some familiar people pop up. And connect with me afterwards. I mean it. DC, awesome. So now I know we've got DC, Virginia, Colorado, California. It's awesome. It's virtual space. We get to connect with people we wouldn't usually connect with. Aspen, Colorado, of course. Very awesome. Mexico, awesome. So we're now international. I love it. Ireland, awesome. Yeah, I keep using that word awesome. I'm excited. I hope you are. You've always practiced at home, Carol. Awesome. I mean, that's fantastic. So no change there. Yeah, I love to see it. Well, keep chatting after class is over if you want to say anything. Again, I'm Kristen Boyle. I have the Embodied Yoga Method, Yoga for Emotional Wellness, on Facebook. It's a free group. You can join it, see what I'm up to. Lots of offerings there, engagements, things like that. Otherwise, thanks for joining me with Yoga Download. I'm happy that Yoga Download is offering these free live classes, and super honored that all of you are joining. So let's go ahead and get started. If you don't happen to have yoga blocks, I've been joking lately that I borrowed my daughter's Jane Austen and Sherlock Holmes anthologies. They're pretty great, sturdy things to use. Otherwise, it's not mandatory to have a block, but you might want one close by, maybe a blanket or a pillow. But take a tall seat and prop yourself up in such a way that you can sit tall and evenly. And that means even from sitting bone to sitting bone, from seat to crown. And if you think of it, there's the rib cage, and the rib cage is like a lampshade, and you want the lampshade to shine directly down, right? We can tilt the lampshade forward, back, side to side. You want it to shine directly down onto the bowl of the pelvis. So the pelvis being this bowl, and the bowl of the pelvis, we don't want it to tilt too forward or too far back, but rather sit evenly. So as you find your seat, you might even notice the relationship between your rib cage and your pelvic bowl, and see if you can align them. And often it's a softening back. So if you bring your hand right to the front of your rib cage, right to that opening, and press softly back and down. So often we cut forward, and that's like presentation mode. So getting into that softening. Soften your gaze, close your eyes. Palms in your lap, they can be hands palms up or palms down. And take a few breaths that pull you into yourself. This whole practice is a practice of coming back to yourself. And even deeper, coming back to yourself of the self. That part of you that always is, always was. Beautiful, whole, perfect, divine. And knowing that part of you. So as you settle in, notice your breath. Any textures, qualities, depth, temperature. Notice your breath flowing in and out of your nose. And the first step is just noticing. There's no need to fix, solve, figure out anything. Just notice. So the hot topic for today seems to be, or it has been for me since the beginning of quarantine, resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is a practice that's done over time. We build resiliency, we practice resiliency. But there are certain qualities that resilient people have. And perhaps you recognize some of these in your own self. But the first quality is that resilient people get it, that shit happens. You just get it. I often say that none of us gets out of this life for free. Every single one of us is going to have something happen somewhere along the line that's not going to feel so good, and sometimes feel downright horrible. And so if we can just understand that that shit happens, then we've already set ourselves up to begin to move through it. To know that when shit does happen, and I think we're all experiencing it in different ways right now, what resilient people put into practice immediately is getting very intentional with their attention. Get intentional with your attention. And that means, what are you paying attention to? What's drawing your attention, your focus, your energy and your time, or are you investing it? We can pay lots of attention to the news and read lots of articles, and we can create this sense of chaos and even panic. And we can also listen to other sources, friends, family. Or we can start to tune it out to say, wait, that's not where my attention needs to be right now. And one way to practice that is to redirect your attention to breath and body. Present moment. And then in all of this, getting intentional with your attention, there arises another theme that resilient people practice, and that is always keeping in the forefront of your mind, is this action helping or hurting? Is this action helping or hurting? So as I draw my attention to different places, I can also say, is my attention in this area helping me now? Is this an investment of my time? An investment being something that has a positive outcome? Or is this a spending or squandering of my time and energy? And so now notice what's happening in your breath and your body as these concepts arise. Even perhaps memories of where you've drawn your attention. And noticing those times when that attention that you're investing is beneficial, is positive, is helping. And so I want you to take that into your practice today. That inner inquiry, that deeper inquiry into yourself. Am I being intentional with my attention, and is this action helping me now? And before we begin to move, place one hand over your heart space, perhaps two if you feel so inclined. And allow yourself to make that deeper connection with yourself, that self of the self that knows beyond knowing. And allow that deeper part of you to be your guide as we move through the practice, and then beyond the practice as you move about the rest of your day. I invite you, I welcome you to stay here as long as you need to. When you feel like it's time to move, go ahead and crawl forward into your tabletop. And in your tabletop, just begin to take some movements that your body needs. There's no real big instruction or direction, just start to feel out your spine, moving in all directions, flexion, extension, lateral movements, a little bit of spiral. And as soon as you're ready, tuck your toes and press your hips up and back. So we're going to take a little time to marinate in each one of these poses so you can really start to play with those concepts in your body. Building resiliency, becoming intentional with your attention, and asking in each moment, is this helping or hurting? So if you've already arrived in your downward facing dog, perhaps you've been playing with it a little bit. If you're ready, when you're ready, go ahead and press your hips up and back. And as you find that downward facing dog space, spread your fingers wide, press down through the index finger and thumb, the base of each finger, and then push down and away so you can get a little bit longer through the armpits. And then remember that lampshade of the rib cage and the bowl of the pelvis. Can you align those here? Oftentimes the rib cage starts to jut forward if you're on the hypermobile side. If you're on the a little bit tighter side, you might be rounding through the spine or flexing. See if you can elongate and draw the front of your ribs towards the back just a little more. Soften your knees as much as you need to lift your sitting bones even higher. And then notice what's happening with your neck and your head. Can you make it balanced, neutral, even? Even by noticing all of these things in your body, holding the pose maybe a little bit longer than you'd like to. You have the opportunity to get really intentional with your attention, drawing it into your... It looks like we've lost connection for a moment. So let's see what's happening. If you're in your lunge twist, continue to press into your right thigh. Pull the front of your ribs towards the back and then rotate upwards towards the right. Take a few breaths there. And then release your hands back down to the inside of your front foot. And you'll step the right foot back, go right into your downward facing dog. And we'll only be here for 3 breaths. You felt the down dog before, so notice what you're feeling now. Draw the front of your ribs towards the back, lengthen through your armpits a little more. And then step your left foot to the outside of your left hand. Spin your back heel down, walk hands over to the right side so you're walking off the mat. Again, that down dog lunge, your legs are like warrior 2. Your torso is like a down dog. Rotate your left thigh away from you as you rotate the right thigh upwards, feeling the outside of your right foot pressing downwards. Come up onto your fingertips, draw the front of your ribs towards the back, lengthen a little more. Get intentional with your attention. Notice your breath, your body. And then as you're ready, walk your hands back towards the front, spin your back heel up, drop your knee, walk your right hand off your mat, your left hand goes onto your thigh. Right here, draw the front of your ribs to the back of your body, and then start to twist open. Press down and away through that right hand, broaden through the chest and collarbones, sweep the left arm up towards the ceiling. Keep drawing the front of your ribs back, and allow that twist to continue to happen. Press down and away into the right hand. Open up. And then release hands to the mat. Flip your back toe under, step back, downward facing dog. And right here, take 3 more breaths. Line up the lampshade of the rib cage. Soften the bend of the knees, lift the sitting bones, get longer through the armpits. And now with your next inhale, look forward. With your exhale, walk or step or float, feet to hands. Separate your feet nice and wide, bend your knees, grab opposite elbows, let yourself hang ragdoll, sway side to side. Shake your head yes and no. Notice, is there anything you're holding on to right now? Would it deepen your experience if you let it go? And then release your hands. We'll bring hands to shins, legs stay slightly bent. Press your shins forward in your hands, hands into shins. Lengthen your torso forward. Line up the front of your ribs towards the back so they line right over your pelvis. And then bring your hands to hips, squeeze elbows together, come all the way up to stand. Reach your arms all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Soften your gaze, close your eyes. Readjust your feet so they feel like they're in a place that's stable and strong. You're standing. This body, this breath, this moment, connection. And now sweep your arms wide and high, reach all the way up to the ceiling, interlace the hands, send one finger straight up. So once again, make your feet stable and strong, whether they're touching or not touching, that's up to you. Hug your outer hips in, pubic bone to navel strong, front of ribs to back, get as long as you can, and then lean over towards the right side. Use your bottom arm to pull the top arm longer. Keep drawing the front of your ribs to the back body, hold strong to your legs. And then inhale to the center, Do the same thing to the other side. Line up right through the center of your body. Lean over towards the left. Draw the front of your ribs towards the back. Hold strong in your legs. With your inhale, come back up to center. Now with your exhale, take your hands to the back of your head. Bend your knees. Let your butt stick out. Draw the front of your ribs towards your back body. Your chin drops slightly. Lift your shoulders. Pull your elbows back. And then start to press your head into your hands, creating the strength of your back body. Can you feel the muscles all along your back body, that posterior chain that are helping you, even down into your glutes? Now stand tall and reach. Exhale, hands behind you, interlace. Lift your shoulders, retract the shoulders, and start to draw the knuckles down your back. So that same sensation that you just created with strength in your back body, create it here. Lift your chest up, away from your low back. Make your legs strong. Take a breath in, maybe go just a little further. And with your exhale, keep the clasp of your hands, softly bend your knees. Come forward, let your head hang. Hold your fists together as long as it feels right for you. Let them go whenever you need to. Shake your head yes and no. Then release your hands by way of your low back, all the way to the mat. Inhale, hands to shins, straighten arms, lengthen torso. Again, line up, front of the ribs towards the back. Press your shins forward into your hands. Then plant your hands, step back to a plank pose. So the same thing is happening in the plank pose, front of ribs towards the back. Your legs stay strong and steady. Lift your head to line up with your shoulders. Notice your breath, your body. Be intentional with your attention. And then inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Keep your hands where they are or walk them back just slightly. Point your toes. Make your legs straight and strong. Draw your inner thighs towards each other, then lift your legs. So you should feel calves, hamstrings, and glutes here. Then lift your shoulders, retract your shoulders. Start to lift your whole body away from the mat like a locust pose. Then press into your hands until the tops of your feet meet the floor. Once they do, make your legs stronger. Wiggle your ribs forward, shoulders back. Chin is level, ears move back. Maybe this cobra becomes closer to straight arms. But it's a conversation between you and your own body. Is this helping or hurting? As soon as you're ready, lower all the way down. Flip your toes, press to plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. And breathe. Notice your breath and your body. With your next inhale, step your right foot forward, spin your back heel to the mat, come up to a warrior one shape. Lift your arms high. You can keep your hands apart or you can interlace, send one finger straight up. Right here, remember our down dog lunge. Dive deep into this front knee. Rotate the back thigh, so the left thigh rotates away from you. And see if that helps you to seal the outside edge of your back foot down, and then pull your right hip back. Lengthen your left side, your left ribs, forward and up. Reach up, maybe even look up. Can you dive a little deeper into the front knee? This pose requires a lot of effort. Effort helps to build resiliency. When you're ready, take your hands behind you, interlace. Lift and retract shoulders. So just like we did standing, walk the knuckles down your back. Make this back leg super strong. And then come forward, humble warrior. So your shoulder comes to the inside of the right knee. Arms come up and over. Let your head come down towards the mat. Now make your legs stronger. Rotate your left thigh away from you while pulling your right hip back. Pubic bone to navel, strong front of ribs to back, even chin to chest. Might take you just a little deeper. Good, now release your hands by way of your low back. Plant them, step back to plank pose. Shift forward, lower to your belly. Lift your legs, lift and retract shoulders, going into that locust shape. Then press into hands until feet reach. Cobra. Legs strong, ribs forward, shoulders back. Chin level, ears back. Good, lower all the way down. Flip toes, press straight up to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Where is your attention now? Are you investing your attention in something worthwhile, something that helps you? Now step your left foot forward, spin the right heel to the mat. Come all the way up, warrior one. Again, arms apart, arms together, one finger up. Either way. Put a lot of strength in that back leg. Rotate your thigh away from you to start to seal down the outside edge of your foot while you dive deeper into front knee. Pull your left hip back. Even a little bit of front of ribs to back, then lengthen your right ribs forward and up. There's almost a tiny twist in the pose. Hold. Look up if you like. Now take your hands behind you, interlace. Lift and retract shoulders, trace that back knuckle down your leg. And then come forward, humble warrior. Make the back leg super strong. It's an integral part of this shape. Rotate your back thigh away from you. Your left shoulder comes to the inside of your left knee while you pull your hip back. Now, core strength, pubic bone to navel, front of ribs to back, chin to chest. It flexes your spine just a little more, but might give you the ability to go a little deeper. When you're ready, release your hands. Step back to plank pose. Shift weight forward, lower to your belly. Lift legs, lift and retract shoulders. Press into hands until feet reach cobra. Legs strong, ribs forward, shoulders back, chin level, ears back. Might take you just a little further. Again, is this helping or is this hurting? Lower all the way down. Flip your toes. Press straight up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. With your next inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bend your knees, step, float, hop, front of the mat. Inhale right into that flat back, halfway lift. Press hands into shins, press shins forward into hands. Draw the front of your ribs towards the back body. Then hands to hips, elbows squeeze together behind you. Rise all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands by your sides. Then inhale, reach high. And exhale, hands to heart center. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. Be with your body, your breath in this moment. Good. Now bend your knees deeply. Sit your hips low. Elbows can come all the way onto thighs. Shift your weight back into your heels. Do you feel your glutes? I want you to feel your glutes. Keep sitting your hips low with your heels down on the floor. And then draw the front of your ribs towards the back. You should feel strong through the core. Reach your arms straight forward. Maybe you can sink your hips just a little further. Now, without moving your arms, keep them parallel to the floor. Lift up through the crown of your head. See if you can look straight forward. Feel all the muscles of your back body, your glutes, all the way up to the head. Then, bring the arms into play. Only lift the arms high enough. High enough is that point where they separate, where they bend, they want to widen. Bring them high enough. Once they're there, now lift behind your heart. Be intentional with your attention. Now stand tall. Reach, breathe, lengthen. Exhale, hands to heart center. Soften gaze, close your eyes. this breath, this body, and this moment. Now shift your weight into your right foot, hug the outer right hip in. And then turn your left toes out. You can kickstand the toes on the floor, or you can lift your leg. Lift it as high as you can without using your hands. Yeah, and then place it. See where it goes. If you're not satisfied with that, grab your foot, lift it, replace it. Hug your outer right hip in. Again, pubic bone to navel, line up the ribs over the pelvis. Palms press towards each other. Press your inner leg into your foot, and then answer it by pressing your foot back into your leg. And then just notice what's happening. Finally, take your arms in any variation that represents this moment for you. Bring hands back to heart. You're going to step that lifted leg back and turn to the side. So now we're in a warrior two lunge. You might need to wiggle your feet a little bit wider. Open your arms. Dive deep into that front knee. The back thigh rotates upwards. So just as we have all along, from the down dog lunge to the warrior one to the warrior two, rotate that back thigh up, seal down the outside edge of your foot. Dive a little deeper, open your arms. Gaze steadily over the front middle finger and notice what's happening in your breath and your body. Then straighten your front knee. Start to shift your hips towards the back of the room. Keep that right arm reaching straight forward. Go as far as your body allows. You'll start to feel a stretch. Inner thigh and hamstring right here. When it's enough, pause. And at that pause, shift your arms. This is where you might want a block or a book. You can also place your hand on your shin. You can also reach for the floor. Keep rotating the back thigh away from you. Make the front kneecap lifted so the quad's engaged. Press down through your right big toe while you pull back with your right hip. So the hips actually have a little bit of a shift. Hold there. Gaze up or down. Good, then come back, warrior two. This time inhale straight forward, star pose. And exhale, come forward, prasarita. As you come forward, bend your knees, lift your sitting bones. Let your neck be released. And then crawl to a low lunge at the back of your mat. Step your right foot forward. Inhale, hands to shins, straighten arms, lengthen torso, press shins into hands, press hands back into shins, front of ribs to back body. Then bring hands to hips, squeeze. Come all the way up to stand. Drop your hands by your sides, reach arms high, and then exhale, hands to heart center. This breath, this body, this moment. So now sink your hips low, elbows to your thighs, Utkatasana as we've done before. Shift your weight back to your heels. Let your glutes turn on, front of ribs to back. Reach your arms straight forward. Then lift up through the crown of your head. Notice the strength of your back body. Lift your arms when you're ready, just high enough. Once your arms are high enough, lift up behind your heart. And breathe. Good, then stand tall or reach. Exhale, hands to heart center, soften gaze or close your eyes. And again, this body, this breath, this moment. Shift your weight into your left foot, hug the outer left hip in, toes turn out. When ready, lift your leg, go as high as you can, place it. If you're not satisfied, reach down, grab your foot, place it higher. Keep hugging the outer left hip in. Press your inner leg against your foot. Press your foot back. Press your palms together. And just notice. we take your arms into any direction that represents this moment for you. And so now, step your right foot back. So we're going into that warrior two again. Lunge deep into the front knee, adjust your feet as necessary. Rotate the top thigh upwards so you seal the back foot down. Dive deep into the front knee. Open your arms. Even here, rib cage over roll. Gaze straight forward. Good, now straighten your front leg. So moving into trikonasana, let the hips shift. Start to lean forward. Notice when this hamstring and inner thigh say that's enough. Keep your arms lifted, pause, and then shift the arms. Use your book, your block, shin, floor, thigh. Keep pressing down through the left big toe, pull the left hip back so the hips actually offset slightly so you can lengthen the left side of your body. Rotate the back thigh away from you. Be intentional with your attention. What are you paying attention to here? When you're ready, come into your low lunge or your warrior two. Inhale to star pose. Just for a moment, come forward, prasarita. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Stay there for one breath in. Your exhale is a low lunge to the top of the space. And then step your left foot forward, this time coming into a malasana or a yogic squat, hands to heart center. Squeeze your knees into your elbows, lengthen tailbone back, front of ribs towards the back body, lengthen through the crown of your head. If any of you enjoy arm balances, you can go into a bakasana or a crow pose here. A little moment to play before we settle. And then when you're ready to settle, hands to the mat behind you, ease your way into a seat. Take your legs out in front of you, shake them out. Lift your arms overhead. You might want to here slide a block or books under your knees so that they stay bent. There's no need to do this with straight legs. Rather, reach your arms high and then start to lean forward, keeping the low back nice and long. Go as far as you can until you're ready to just soften. Soften, release, let go. Let your head hang and even notice the stretch through the neck, the upper back. And then as soon as you're ready, start to roll yourself all the way onto your back, all the way into a shavasana. And I will end the video in just a few moments, but I want you to know that if you want to stay in your shavasana longer, you are absolutely welcome. This is your practice, your time, and you are practicing resiliency just by becoming more intentional with your attention. And then always asking that question, is this helping me or is this hurting? And you get to choose. And so I will close here. Again, I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to hear from you. You can pop in a chat. This video will be available to you to practice again. And I thank you all very deeply for joining me wherever you are in the world. And I thank you all for coming to your mats to practice for yourself so that you can be the best you are for others. Namaste.